And this one is actually going to be a competitive area control game. In this game, each player is going to be playing as their own asymmetric factions with their own unique abilities, as well as a unique one-time use superpower. And the whole goal of this game is to be the first player to reach 40 victory points. And because I am filming this one before the campaign has even launched, there's not a whole lot of images out on this one yet, but they did release an official video that will give you a bit of an idea of what the game looks like. And I should also mention that this one is our own Discord pick of the week, and I'm not surprised because Chip Theory makes a ton of excellent games. And also this one is really interesting because, like I said, this is an area control game, but the way that the actions work in this game is that you're actually going to be drafting dice. But before I jump into the different actions in this game, it is important to understand how the board actually works, because the board's going to be broken up into a bunch of different locations, and at the start of the game you're going to be assigning a token randomly to each of these locations, and then whichever player controls that location is going to be gaining the benefits of that token, which is usually a special action or resource, but you're also going to be gaining the amount of victory points depicted on that token as well. But in addition to drafting those die at the start of each round, each player is also going to be gaining an income, placing 2 units out on the board. Then they'll also be able to roll one of their own personal dice that is going to grant them with a bonus action or some way to augment their actions during their turn. But of course, players will be spending those dice to perform the various actions, which could be to gain additional income, reinforce a region that you already have a presence in, attack a region adjacent to one of your regions, allowing you to remove opponents from that adjacent location, or also you can move all of your units from one region to an adjacent region. But if you ended up with a die that isn't particularly useful to you, you can also spend any die, no matter what value it has on it, in order to gain additional basic units. And of course, if there's basic units, there's also elite units, and these can vary from faction to faction, but you can also spend the money that you've earned in order to buy those elite units and then be able to place them out on the board, and the elite units are represented with dice. And like I said, there is that personal die that players can use, and this can be used to grant additional attacks on your turn, grant you additional income, or even double any of your action dice, allowing you to perform that action twice in succession. After all the players have performed their actions, you're then going to be checking the board to see who has majority control over each of the individual regions, and they're going to be granting those players the associated victory points. But each faction also has their own specific conditions that can grant them additional victory points. And this is going to be outlined on their own personal player board. And you're going to be checking for this as well, and then granting any victory points from that. And the game continues like this until a player reaches 40 victory points. And for an area control game with dice drafting and everything that comes along with this one, I'm really impressed that it's able to play so quickly. So it looks like a ton of fun, and if you are interested in checking it out, I will have it linked in the description below.